Welcome to the Airlift Workshop, where you get expertise from the air suspension specialists, keeping you on the road and in top condition. Today, we're installing the Airlift 1000 HD kit on a 2018 Ram 1500. Remember, this overview doesn't replace your installation manual. Grab yours out of the box and let's get started. Start by raising the truck with a floor jack and supporting the frame with jack stands. For filming purposes, we're using a drive-on vehicle hoist. Drop the axle so that the coil springs are fully extended. Remove and discard the rubber isolator from the top of the passenger's side coil spring. Prepare the air springs for installation by removing the plastic cap from the stem. Roll the air spring up toward the stem to exhaust all the air from the bag. Replace the cap on the stem to hold the flat shape. Fold the air bag into a hot dog bun shape. Insert the flattened air spring into the coil springs through the lowest opening with the stem pointing up. You may need to use a blunt instrument, such as a tire iron, to get the spring into position. When the spring is completely inside the coil, remove the cap and allow the air spring to fill to its as-molded shape. Push the cylinder to the bottom of the coil spring so that the stem can be accessed. Next, you'll need to run the air lines. The Airlift 1000 HD system can be installed in either a single-path or dual-path setup. We'll demonstrate setting up a single-path system. Before routing air lines to the air springs, note the available length and pick a convenient inflation valve drilling location. We'll use the license plate recess as our location. You could also use the wheel well flanges or under the gas cap access door. You may need to drill a hole. Now route the longest airline path first. When setting up a single-path system, begin by determining a location for your T-fitting. This can be either on the frame rail or the crossmember. Determine the adequate length of air line to reach the T from the air springs. When cutting air lines, never cut from the side or with wire cutters. You'll leave a jagged edge and ruin the hose. Instead, use a sharp razor blade to get a square, clean cut. A hose cutter will also do the trick. Begin by sliding the airline clamp onto the airline. Then push the airline and airline clamp over the barbed stem. The airline should cover all the barbs. Compress the ears on the airline clamp using pliers. Then slide it forward to fully cover the barbs. Place a nut and star washer on the inflation valve and push it through the inflation valve hole. Use a rubber washer, flat washer, and nut to secure it in place. Then twist on the valve cap. From the T, route the airline along the top of the frame on both sides. Thread the line down through the top spring seat. Insert an air spring protector onto the top of the air spring. Then run the airline through it. Leave enough slack in the airline to accommodate axle movement. Attach the straight pump connector to the airline, then to the air spring fitting. Once the airline is connected, lower the body of the vehicle so that the air spring touches the top and bottom of the upper and lower spring mounts. Then inflate to 35 psi and perform a leak test using soapy water. Deflate to 5 psi when unloaded. Before towing or hauling, remember to add air pressure to the air springs first and then add the weight of the load.